Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins, and I wanted to talk to you guys about something that I just explored and researched on the whole thing with Colin Kaepernick in the NFL. Kaepernick in the NFL basically had a weird dispute that you guys may know about that occurred this week, where Kaepernick was basically accused of not showing up for his workout with the NFL. You know, he spent a lot of time asking the league to give him an opportunity, and when the opportunity came, Kaepernick basically said, I'm not going to come work out at the facility that you have asked me to work out at. And a lot of people were confused. I did a long commentary on it on drboycetv.com, in which I basically explained, some of the things that confused me about that whole situation. Not to say that Kaepernick was right or that the NFL was right. I tend to agree with Kaepernick more than the NFL, but just because I agree with you in general does not mean I agree with every part of your strategy. So with that said, I finally got a chance to read a little bit more about the waiver that the NFL asked Kaepernick to sign. Now, if you recall, the waiver was one of the key sticking points in the decision by Kaepernick's, crew to not go to the originally agreed upon location for the workout. So the biggest difference between the two waivers is the NFL's waiver is about 1,200 words. Kaepernick's waiver is about 1/6 of that size, about 268 words, if I'm not mistaken. So Kaepernick wanted a much more limited waiver. He wanted the NFL to take on a lot more of the liability for things that could happen both during the workout or related to the workout. The NFL, on the other hand, wanted to be protected from all future liability, no matter what. So in a way, it's kind of saying, you even if you already sued us before, you can't sue us again for almost any reason whatsoever, right? So they kind of use this very vast language, very expansive language to protect themselves from liability. So it was kind of a take it or leave it type situation, and Kaepernick refused. Now, why they didn't read the waiver, 2 or 3 days in advance, I don't know. I mean, the interview came up. Somebody said, I wish you would have waited and read the waiver first. Yeah, well, the thing about it, I did read some of it. I didn't get to read the whole thing. I'm not going to read 1,200 words of Colin Kaepernick's waiver to kind of get the gist of it. I saw some legal experts that kind of broke it down. And basically, it sounds like a lot of it came down to, they don't want to be sued, period. They're just basically saying, you can't sue us anymore. And Kaepernick saying, no, I want to be able to sue you. And the reality is that when somebody is basically saying, I want to be open to sue you if I get upset with you, it doesn't mean that, you're right or wrong with one decision or the other. But a lot of people are going to say, I don't want to mess with you. I'm not going to do more business with you if you are a legal liability. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. Any job, give me a yes or no if you can imagine any job where you can sue your employer and then go back and get a job at that same company. Can anybody name any situation where you've ever had a job or seen anybody have a job where they got sued, where they got fired, they sued, and then came back to the company that they sued and got gainful employment? I'm not gonna say it can't happen. Maybe you could be in a protected class. Maybe white women can get away with that with sexual harassment type situations. But you can't blame employers for not wanting to be sued. And one of the things I've mentioned is that we cannot walk away from the reality that Kaepernick is asking them for a job. All they're asking him to do is go away. They're not asking him, for anything. They're like, look, we don't even want you around here. But he's saying, I want to be there. I want to be in the league. And I told you guys, my belief is that black men should have our own sports league. I'm not trying to say that he doesn't have a right. But, when you're talking about dealing with power, right and wrong doesn't matter. Like they said, war is not about who's right. It's about who's left. It's about who survives. It's about who's got the power to actually push their perspective and push their point of view. So it ain't about who's right. It's about who's left. And right now, I think that, now you say a guy did that at Walmart and he still works there. So that's a possibility. I mean, I guess, if you want to be a Walmart employee, then I guess that process can work for you. But I personally think that if you're not there and they don't have to hire you, if employers are not forced to rehire somebody who sued them, they're not going to rehire them. Now, maybe Walmart was forced to. Maybe there was a court, order saying you must rehire him. If that's the case, then they would do it. But I bet you anything that Walmart would never have rehired that guy if they didn't have to, right? If they did not have to. I see Quaid says union jobs. Well, that's a good question, Quaid. The NFL has a players union, do they not? Do they not? And yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. Give me a yes or no. Has anybody seen anything that the players union has done or said on behalf of Colin Kaepernick? Give me a yes or no. Have you seen anything in the media where the players union has stood out and said, we believe this is an injustice. We are speaking out on behalf of Kaepernick. We want to support him. We want him to come back. We want him back in the league. Where, yes or no, have you seen anything where the players union has stepped in and said, because the NFL has a union, so why isn't the union active? Why isn't the union involved? Maybe the union maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they feel like, hey, whatever 10, 20, 30 million or whatever millions you got from your lawsuit, that's enough. Like, you're good. You're doing better than most of our players. And so I'm not saying it's a matter of right or wrong at this point. It's a matter, you can have whatever opinion you want. My opinion is, I think Kaepernick has a good point. I think that the NFL is racist. It is a plantation, but most of us don't choose to go work on a plantation. If somebody is treating you like a nigga, you don't hang around that person who's treating you like a nigga. So the question is, like, I'm looking right here at this business, this UPS store I'm about to go into. If I was going to the UPS store and every day they were calling me the N-word, hanging nooses on my desk and telling me I was a monkey, I would probably leave that company. I would not want to come back. Now, I could, let them fire me and then sue them and say, you need to rehire me. I want to have another interview so I can come back and work for you again. But some people might say, why would you want to work in that environment? If you feel that there's no trust, if you feel that there's no respect, if you're not being treated well, most people who aren't being treated well walk away. Black people are one of the few people who don't walk away. Like, we're like that girl who's in a relationship where a man is beating her ass and telling her, I don't like you, and he's sleeping with another woman in front of you and he disrespects you in every way, but she chases him around and stalks him and says, you're gonna love me? You're gonna, no way, I'm living without you, you're gonna love me, which really sounds like a stalker song. It sounds almost like begging. And I really think that, this whole case really makes me sort of think through the overcommitment that many black males have to the NFL. You have these guys who pretty much, treat you, they act like plantation owners every day of the week. They show that they disrespect you in every way that they possibly can. But yet we still line up, we still dedicate our lives to have the opportunity to work for them. And I'm not trying to say that it doesn't make sense. They're paying you millions of dollars, and really the more conservative commentators like Stephen A. or Jason Whitlock and others, that's their point that they've made. I don't know Stephen A. personally. I've been on the show a couple times, but I know Jason Whitlock. He called me recently, and actually about something for the black community. He actually wanted to do an initiative that would actually put money into building black entrepreneurship centers. So even the conservative black people that I talk to, they don't hate black people. They just happen to have a conservative viewpoint. They actually have less trust in white people than a lot of liberals do. Liberals love white folks. Like, liberals really believe white people are our solution. They believe they are our Jesus. They are our salvation. They're going to write the reparations check that will get us out of this situation. They're going to give us the jobs that will help us build our community. They're going to build the great schools. They're going to make us better. Like, literally, liberals, unfortunately, are more committed to white supremacy than conservatives are in many cases. Most of my conservative friends, I'm going to keep it 100 with y'all, most of my black conservative friends are saying, to hell with white people. I ain't waiting for white people. I don't need white people to save me. We're going to go build our own. We're going to start our own businesses. We're going to educate our own kids. Anything they can do, we can do. Like, that's what I'm hearing from my conservative friends, right? The liberals are the ones who are doing what Kaepernick is doing. Like, literally putting your whole life on hold, waiting for these people to give you a job. Like, literally, like, fighting with them. Like, you need to hire me. You need to hire me. Give me a job. I deserve a job. You fire me. You're wrong. I'm going to sue you. You should fire me. Or you should hire me again. And I don't get that. I don't know that language. I don't know the language. I don't know what it means to, like, keep begging a white guy to keep letting you in, even though he's telling you that he doesn't respect you. That's my 2 cents on it. I think Kaepernick's waiver, I think that, if he feels that the waiver is not legit, that's cool. But what the NFL is kind of also saying, the same way Kaepernick wanted to shape the narrative, they're trying to shape the narrative. They're saying, look, here's what we want you to sign. If you can't sign it, that's okay. Go play for somebody else. And that's what it is. I don't believe that's what Cap is doing. Know Your Rights is different. Yeah, I think Know Your Rights is basically a civil rights kind of ideology that says we have these rights under the law that are going to protect us. And unfortunately, rights will never protect you the way economic power will protect you. Rights will never protect you the way you are protected when you own a gun, right? Rights will never protect you the way power will protect you. Rights don't mean shit. Just let's just get it clear. Byron Allen is in this lawsuit. He got a Supreme Court hearing over the Civil Rights Act, things like that. And, what a lot of people have said is that the Civil Rights Act of 1864 was never really enforced anyway. Like, they're not even really supporting you with that anyway. Like, you really believe, give me a yes or no. Yes or no. Do you really believe civil rights is what's going to protect black people? We know our rights. Do you believe that civil rights is going to be the thing that uplifts your race to power and prosperity and success? Yes or no? Do you believe civil rights is the solution that we've been looking for? Is that the Jesus that is going to carry us to heaven? No. So, Kaepernick's right. You should know your rights. Cool. Know your rights. Get your lawyers, whatever it is you got to do. But at the same time, you got to get your economic power, because without economic power, rights don't mean shit, because the people that have the real power can change the laws anytime they want to. Point blank, period. Anyway, I'm out of here, guys. Do me a favor, hit the thumbs up button. On the count of 3, please hit the thumbs up button and the notification bell and type Black Power in the chat and let me know you did it. 1, 2, 3. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Hit the notification bell, type Black Power in the chat. Let me know let me know that you did it. Please hit the thumbs up button and type Black Power in the chat. Thank you, Anita Watkins. My brother says I should go to a Know Your Rights event. Yeah, maybe there's more to it. Maybe there is. If there is more, then they need to market that. If there is more, they need to tell us. Thank you, Color of Health. Thank you, Fat Boy. I appreciate that. Literally, I'm not saying that. I'm not even really giving an opinion or a perspective that I want you to take. I'm just calling it like I see it. And what I'm seeing, it is what it is. What it is it's a power play, and Kaepernick ain't got no damn power relative when it comes to getting a job in the NFL. He's got power outside the NFL, right? He's got power among the people, but the people can't get him a job, because, the best thing the people can do is to support him and Jay-Z and whoever if they wanted to start their own sports league. They could have their own football league and build it up within a year. They know enough lawyers, they know enough millionaires, they know enough banks and backers, financial backers, they know enough potential corporate advertisers. They just have to accept the fact that maybe for the first few years, instead of making $30 million a year, you might make $3. If you can live off of $3 million a year for a few years to build some wealth, then you could be very successful. And that's the problem. The white man pays good. He pays good money. And these guys don't want to walk away from those $10, $15, $20 million a year deals in exchange for $1-2 million a year deals. But I can guarantee you, if they made me the commissioner of a black-owned sports league, like, I don't have the millions of dollars necessary to get it started, or I do it myself. But if they made me the commissioner, if they say, hey boys, we're going to basically activate all of our Twitter followers, all of our Instagram followers to use as a promotional platform for the league, and we're going to live stream the games on all of our Twitter platforms or whatever, and we're going to market the tickets every time there's a game. We want you to be the commissioner of a sports league and set up the draft, set up all the rules, and work with a committee to get this done. I would do that, and I could get that done, and I could get everybody multi-million-dollar contracts, because once you have the audience, you've got power that allows you to go to advertisers and make money from the advertisers. You then have tickets you can sell, where each game you're making maybe $500,000 per game, right? Which isn't millions of dollars a game, but it's a start. It's something that you're building, right? And over the years, after a few years, you build that into something that becomes $1 billion brand. So I could do that myself. I have no doubt about that. So we have what we need. It's just we just don't want to do it. We want to sit there and suck the white man's nipple and then talk smack to the white man at the same time. I don't really know if you can do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to complain about. There's a lot to be mad about. But remember, white supremacy is a system that exists within a vacuum. It exists within white-owned institutions. If you get out of those institutions, the fog of white supremacy becomes much lighter. As a black man, when I own my own business, I don't really talk to white people unless I really have to. There's no white man telling me what to do. Nobody tells me what time I got to be at work. Nobody tells me what agenda I can pursue. Nobody's telling me what I can say. There's nobody on earth who knew I was going to do this podcast other than me, right? So what I'm saying to you is that if you want your freedom, you got to earn it. Freedom is for men. Freedom is for grown folks. Freedom is not for beggars and people. Freedom is not for people where your entire community is seeking jobs and sucking up to white supremacy so that you can get employment. Freedom is not allowed to you in America, and that's just the reality. That's what I see. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm going to go, guys. Hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to learn about freedom and wealth and all that, that's what we're all about in the Black Business School. Feel free to go check out theblackbusinessschool.com, THE, that's theblackbusinessschool.com. You can get started for free. So we have a little bit of socialism in there where we open the doors to anybody that wants to come in and learn, but we also have a little bit of free enterprise in there where when you go to the premium programs, we charge you a little bit of money, but no more the money than you already given to white folks for the other things that you're doing. We just charge you enough that we can pay the bills and make our team go and continue our mission to spread Black economic empowerment throughout the world. So go to theblackbusinessschool.com. There are people waiting there right now to talk to you, and we can actually teach you the fundamentals of economic freedom that you were never taught in school, so that you don't end up in these enigmas where you're asking questions that have weird answers for you. I know exactly why the NFL is doing what it's doing with Kaepernick. I know exactly why Kaepernick is confused. I know exactly why they all seem frustrated, and it all comes down to understanding the rules of engagement when it comes to economic warfare. So if you want to understand these ideas, go to theblackbusinessschool.com. I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care. Have a good day. Peace.